We need just a little bit of time, maybe 10, 15 minutes.
He's our timekeeper. We're going to tell the jury they got 10 more minutes on their break and tell me when 10 is up. But we'll be in recess for 10 minutes.
And here we go. The defense case in chief.
Have you seated in the courtroom, please? Members of the jury, the state has rested its case in chief. The defense has called its first witness, and she has been sworn outside your presence. You may proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Judge. Yes, ma'am. First, could you just please introduce yourself to the jury?
Claudia Isabel Rodriguez.
And I guess Ms. Rodriguez, I want to start by setting up why you're here and what involvement you have. So can you please tell us at the time in 2022 where you were?
Hillcrest Memorial Funeral Home Secretary.
And
Yeah, this is the first time we heard from the funeral owner, the pastor. This is the secretary who was also out there being shot at by the shooter.
we have heard somewhat about that funeral home. Can you tell us in relation to Rob's school where that funeral home is located?
It's located on Geraldine between Bettis and Grove.
And in its location, are you able to stand in your place of business where you work and look out and see Robb Elementary?
Yes, sir.
And the side specifically of Robb Elementary, what side of the school are you able to see?
It's the back of the school where the soccer fields are.
Okay. And would that include what we've heard of as the teacher parking lot, or that parking lot that's around there with the cars and everything on the back side of that building?
That is correct.
So I want to go through and just tell the jury, from your perspective, tell the jury what happened that morning, starting with the crash.
So I'm at my desk. I hear a loud noise. Look to my cameras. I do not see anything in the camera that can justify the noise. So at this time, I want to get up and go check the premises because it's possible that there's a crevice in the camera that maybe didn't or can't reach or show. When I stand up from my desk, through my window, I could see that I know now the top of a truck. I run to the lobby where my two coworkers are at, and I ask them to come help call 911 for a car accident at the ditch.
And so we've heard from Mr. Limones. Can you tell us who Mr. Limones was and what he did at the funeral home?
Mr. Limones was a funeral attendant at the time.
And so you've had them call 911. What did you do next?
Gilbert Limones and Cody Briseño are running out the door with me behind. Gilbert Limones is already on the phone before we exit our door with 911 to initially tell them it was a car accident.
And did you find out that it was more than a car accident?
Yes.
Tell us what happened then.
Well, upon the gentleman running across the street to Geraldine upon the sidewalk of the ditch, my two coworkers are asking if he's okay. He never says anything. He's trying to ajar the driver door, but because of the impact, he cannot. So he crawls over to the passenger side and exits the vehicle.
And after he exited, can you give us an idea of like how close you are, how close Mr. Limones is?
The two gentlemen are at the sidewalk, at the ditch, at the sidewalk. I am across the street on our curve still, if you will, at the funeral home, but at the end of our property there.
And then you said he exits the passenger side.
Exits the passenger side.
What happened next?
The gentlemen are still asking if, does he need help? Is there anybody else? Again, quiet, doesn't say anything. I can see him reach in through the passenger window, pulling up an object, like straight up. And that's when Cody Briseño screams out, he has a gun.
And when that happened, do you know if anybody was on the phone with 911 from the funeral home?
Yes, Gilbert's on the phone.
Okay.
Still.
So Gilbert's on the phone. I guess when you said, hey, there's been a wreck, somebody needs to call 911, it was Gilbert that got on the phone.
Yes, sir.
On the 911. And we've heard that call. And just for the jury's reference, we hear a woman screaming. Is that you? on that?
Yes.
Okay. So now he's gotten out. He has a gun. What's the next thing you remember?
When Cody says he's got a gun, we kind of turn around, or they turn around to run towards or retreat back to the funeral. I could still see him. He does not have a clip in the gun, so he loads the gun with a clip and then shoots at us.
And what did you do? You and I guess all of you. What did you do as he starts shooting?
We retreated into the funeral home, thinking maybe he's following.
Sure. I think originally, if I understand what you're saying, originally you thought this guy's about to come in the funeral home after us.
Yes.
And you were reasonable to think so, obviously. While you were there, and Mr. Lamone, as Gilbert's on the phone with 911, is he communicating the things that are happening to you guys to 911?
Yes.
While you were there, and when you can look into the ditch, and obviously Mr. Lamonis was closer than you, could you
Yes.
tell what he was wearing, what colored clothing he was wearing?
Yes.
And were you, meaning you and Gilbert and the people there, trying to communicate the clothing he was wearing and the color to dispatch?
I believe Gilbert is trying to describe, yes.
Now, when he came out of the car with that gun, were you able to realize that this was a rifle and not a pistol?
Correct.
So you can see that clearly as he comes out and you see what he's holding in his hand.
Yes.
And you said that he didn't have a magazine in, so he loaded.
Correct.
Okay. Now, at this time, you're inside the funeral home. What's the next thing that you see?
So Gilbert is now telling them that he shot at us and that he is jumping the fence.
And when you say jumping the fence, where does that fence, what is being fenced off by that fence?
It's the fence that ends the property of the school at Rob.
Okay. And so when he jumped that fence, what's the next thing that you saw the shooter do?
He grabbed what he tossed over the fence and started walking the paved little sidewalk to the teacher parking lot.
And so when you saw him, could you see him from the funeral home? Could you see him clearly?
Yes.
And just to describe for us, are you like looking out of like glass doors? Or are you looking out of the window?
I am back at my office watching him.
And as you're watching him and looking from your office, I guess there's a window in your office.
Yes.
And as you're looking, you're watching him just slowly walk towards the school.
Yes, sir.
And you said he goes to the teacher parking lot. So I want to ask you about that. Was there a time that, I guess when you see him go to the teacher parking lot, well, just describe for the jury what you saw him do when he got there.
So before he gets to the parking lot, I remember him, obviously his back to me, he's wearing a cap, a black hoodie. He removes his cap. He shakes out his hair and replaces his hat or cap on his head, walks to the teacher parking lot where he takes cover, if you will, behind or on the side of a white parked car.
And when you say he takes cover, is he, from where you can see, is he shielded? Does he shield himself from view for a certain period?
Yes.
Now, just because he's shielded from maybe others' view, are you still able to have a line of sight to
Yes.
the shooter?
Yes.
What is he doing when he's?
He is reloading.
And so, Your Honor, may I personally?
Sure.
Yes, sir. I know it's been a while since I've done it, so I forgot you allowed us to do it. I'm showing you Defendants 12. Now, you talk about one of the first things you did when you heard the wreck was that you looked at your cameras to see if that
Yes.
would explain.
Yes.
So you have familiarity with the cameras that were at the funeral home at the
Yes.
time. And have I showed you a little clip that's very much zoomed in and very pixelated of one of the camera angles and views from your funeral home?
Yes.
All right. And is that contained on Defendants 12?
Yes.
We're going to go off for Defendants 12.
Okay.
All right. May we post the jury?
Yes.
And so what I want to do is, I'm going to put that up there behind you. So I want to direct your attention. I'm going to come up here. Like I said, it's very pixelated. But when we talk about these, you can see that these are vehicles.
Yes.
Okay. And so when you're talking about the vehicles in that parking lot, these would be kind of the ones towards the right side of the parking lot, I guess closer to the funeral home than the ones over.
Yes.
All right. You push button. Now, focusing your attention here. You see this figure walking right here?
Yes.
Okay. Is this the person that you saw that you identified as the shooter?
Yes.
I want to watch.
He's clearly between cars.
Yeah, but is that the puff of smoke? Because remember, Agent Doogie Howser was talking about the puff of smoke that supposedly Adrian should have seen.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's go
Is
back.
that
You're
the
walking right here?
Yes.
Okay. Is this the person that you saw that you identified as the shooter?
Yes.
I want to watch.
But that's not puff of smoke, that's pixels. Okay, you talk about what might be here.
Yeah, that's. I don't understand where he got this, but this is the. He said it was very pixelated, but he could clearly see a puff of smoke at some point.
Yeah. And I'm not sure Adrian has even drove past at this point.
No.
Can you go back? Can you play it again? It's very hard to see. If it is pixelated, it's Ranger Hill told us. I want you to watch to see if you can see a white car that runs up that side.
Yes.
You see that white car going up?
Yes.
Going
So
quick?
he was in between the cars.
Yeah, he was in between the cars and he was really gunning down to that place. Not the Sunday stroll driving. The timeline animation made it seem like. Yeah, he was in between cars. Isn't it strange that this part wasn't played by the prosecution? It's almost as if they tried to fool the jury. Yeah, okay, but let's see. Let's try to find Core TV instead. Oh, first, booster. Booster. Let's see if this is making things better. You tell us, folks, in the chat if this is better.
I want to watch. Can you go back?
Oh, shit, sorry. Oh,
She was concerned.
that.
Focusing your attention here. You see this figure walking right here?
Yes.
Okay. Is this the person that you saw that you identified as the shooter?
Yes.
I want to watch. Can you go back? Can you play it again? It's very hard to see. If it is pixelated, it's Ranger Hill told us. I want you to watch to see if you can see a white car that.
I'm actually going to go to this. Remember this? This is the timeline. According to timeline, because he was really studying that video, the person is here. On the video, he's in between these two cars, crouching down. And what you can also see is he was still crouching down there as he drove past. While in his timeline, he's way here. But according to the video, he's still in between those cars as Adrian drives by. That's really fucking strange, isn't it? It's almost as if they lied.
It runs up
Yeah.
that. You see that white car going up? Going quick? Right. And at the time you see the white car, do you see the figure kind of ducking down
Yes.
between the cars? Is that how you remember seeing it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if the jury were shown, you see, let me orient you to this map. This is the parking lot. And these would be, I guess, those two cars that we're looking at that's on the right side. Now, you remember seeing him
Yes.
here, ducked between these two cars. Now, if the jury were shown that the shooter was right here, and I'm talking about this X, that's kind of either this X or this X, and you see that that's towards the front part of that parking lot.
Right.
If the jury were shown that he was there when that white car went through, does that video reflect that he was standing here, or does it reflect that he was standing in between these two cars?
By the two cars.
By the two cars, and that's what you remember seeing,
Yes.
right? So and you weren't here for that, but you would agree that if you were standing where those other X's were, that you would be kind of standing to the right of those cars, and any car that's driving by would drive right by him, right? And let me just show you again, just so you can be sure. So these X's here and here, they're to the right of these cars here. You
Yes.
agree, right? So if a car is driving right here, they would be driving right by anybody that's standing here and here, right?
Yes.
Okay. But if he's here in between these cars and ducking down and hiding, this car is not able to see this guy.
That is correct.
All right. And we actually have video evidence of where he was standing exactly when the white car drives by.
Yes.
Okay. So was there a point? And obviously, everybody has heard, the terror in your voice. And Mr.
Yeah, remember last guy, Ranger. No, I viewed all the videos and everything, and this is the accurate timeline of events. He's not even close. It's not even close.
Moments and how awful all of this was for you to witness without being able to do anything about it. Was there a point when several officers showed up? They showed up to, I guess they were kind of there next to where you guys were at the funeral.
Yes, that is correct.
All right. And did you personally attempt to communicate with those officers what you had seen and what you were still seeing and witnessing?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Gilbert and I are yelling at them upon their arrival and after they exited their car that he's already inside.
And so you're telling them that he's inside.
Yes.
Were you pointing to the area where you
Yes.
went inside?
Yes.
So and if we could see on this map.
So
Oh my God! Then the officer did light up Adrian because he was already inside.
yeah. Who knew?
Jesus.
They were looking for a man in dark, and they were looking at Adrian. I mean, this put the entire timeline very, very off. Very, very off. And we already saw car driving by as the shooter was hiding between cars.
Okay.
Not-
a real lawyer question, Nick.
Mm.
Now that we have actual testimony that timeline that we just spent 2 days on was utter bullshit, can he strike that evidence now?
No, it goes to the weight. It goes to the weight of the evidence.
Damn it.
Yeah. But now we understand why they focus so much on certain aspects, because they knew they had a witness to this, and the prosecution also knew they had her, and they didn't call her in the case, their case in chief. It's
On this map,
intentional.
so if you're here in the funeral home, are you pointing to this west side of the building
Yes,
and telling them that he's gone inside?
yes,
Did the officers that you talked to, how many do you remember being there?
2.
And you, look, if I could just show you, I think when we spoke, can you show us, you remember them being here on this street or around?
Well, actually, they're parked here in front of the Geraldine fence to the school.
Okay.
But this is Perez.
Got it.
So like right across.
And that's where you remember. And there were 2 officers. You told them, and did those officers then go immediately to where you told them and run inside the building?
No,
What did they do?
I believe, if I remember correctly, they got back into the car and went around the school.
Okay.
Towards the front of Rob.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Judge, I'll pass it.
No questions. Recall
And the prosecution has no questions.
Yeah.
Not even, if you look really, really closely on the video, doesn't it seem like he is running to in front of the cars in plain sight of Adrian, as we try to make it seem like? Yeah.
either side. Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh, by the way, this is the witness that the prosecution claimed just screamed at them, at the 3 cops.
Yes.
Shouldn't he try to say, were you frantic? Are you sure? No, he just, yeah, that's how it happened.
Well, the state is damned if they do, damned if they don't. If
Yeah.
she says, yes, I yelled at them, then Starow did line up Adrian and was going to shoot him, allegedly. So either way, whatever she says, it doesn't look good for the state.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am, you are excused from the subpoena and you are not subject to recall. We would ask that you not talk to anybody about the case until you're aware the trial's over.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.